Hello, let's go over D5. Maybe you always ask, why do I use the black background? Because you stare at a white screen, my eyes hurt. So that's the reason. So we're going to solve this quadratic systems here. And I like to draw this down the equal sign. And we're going to do it by substitution. Why? Because they both have y equals. So we'll use a highlighter. Every time we see y, we're going to write negative 6x minus 6. Here is a y variable, but instead of writing y, we're going to write negative x plus 6. Let's write that. Let's do that. Negative 6x minus 6. And everything on this side stays the same. Okay, using your steps, now we're going to set equal to 0. So I'm going to move this negative 6x. I'm going to use the opposite. And move this negative 6 with the opposite positive 6. Okay. This gives us, this will equal 0 and 0. This one falls down, 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Okay, how do you solve this quadratic equation? So we're hoping we can do something called factoring. So let's try to factor this. A times c, my b value, so a times c is 4 times 9 is 36. And my b value is 12. List out all the combinations. 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. Any of those work. Right there. Okay, pay attention now. A value is greater than 1, so you're going to have to do both the x and the y's. So there in blue, I get 6x and 6x, okay? The a value always goes in the top left. The c value always goes in the bottom right, always. And now what we're trying to do is find the greatest common factor going in this direction. That's going to be a 2x. This direction, a 3. This direction, 2x. And this direction, a 3. So we're going to get 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 3. Now, I should have done the discriminant, which I didn't in this problem, but hopefully you can kind of guess or see why, that it's going to be a one solution. Why? Remember the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. It's after you've combined the equations through substitution. My b value is 12. My a value is 4, and my c value is 9. So we're trying to think about how is this in relation to 0. And what the discriminant will tell us how many solutions. So 144, negative 36 times 9 gives me negative 324. And if you add that to 144, I'm going to get negative 180. Negative 180 is less than 0, so we're going to have no real solutions. What does that mean? Graphs will not intersect. Graphs won't intersect. Okay? What does that tell us? Okay? This tells us that even though, let's just say that you kept going. Okay, we already know this information. But let's just keep going and see what happens, okay? You set these equal to 0. It's the same thing. Do it once. You've already done it. 2x equals negative 3. X equals negative 3 halves. So you get x equals negative 3 halves twice. Now, if I stick negative 3 halves into that equation, I'm going to write this one again down here. Let's do it. Let's do that right after the highlighter. Do you guys do that? Y equals negative 6x minus 6. And I'm trying to find the y coordinate, so I just have to stick in one of these. Fractions. Y equals negative 6. Instead of writing x, we're writing negative 3 halves minus 6. Okay, so how do you deal with fractions? Negative I'm going to put this is negative 6, okay? 6 is 2 times 3, and you have this negative 3 over 2 minus 6. Okay, so what am I going to do is I can cross cancel, right? See these 2's? Gone, okay? Why can you do that? Because it's by multiplication. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I'm left with negative 9 minus 6. Negative 18 divided by 2. Up. Negative times a negative is a positive. So, why do I get a 3? Let's take a look. These 144, 4AC. Did I multiply my numbers wrong? 16 times 9. Up over here. I knew it. I was like, how did I get a number over here? So that's wrong. That should have been 144. So that gives you 0. So that was wrong. And what does it mean that it is 0? Well, if the numbers are equal to 0, that means you're going to have one solution. And we have the one solution because it just appears once. Okay. So what does that mean that y equals 3? So if you have the x and the y, you have an order pair that's negative 3 halves, comma, 3. This is the point of intersection. Okay, let's go ahead and graph this and we'll see that. Let's graph negative 3 halves. Okay, we said that was negative 1.5 comma 3. Negative 1.5. Negative 1.5 up 3. There it is. Okay? Let's mark it. This is where the worlds will collide. Okay? Let's see. Y equals negative 6x minus 6. So again, mx plus b, it's linear. My y-intercept of negative 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and it has a slope of negative 6 over 1, which basically means down 6, right 1. Does that say down? That says down. Okay, let's try it. Down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right 1. Okay? Now, you can do the opposite. This is crazy. Watch this. You can also do 6 over negative 1. Why? Because a positive divided by negative is negative. So this would be up 6 to the left 1. Let's try that. Up 6, and you'll notice it falls in line. Up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See it? Let's just do it one more time. You don't need to, but this is fun. Left, up 6, 3, 6, left 1. Okay, and you can kind of see why we're going for that red line. So that was a green. That was a green one. Okay, so let's do our best. Okay. Wada. There you go. Green. All right, let's do the red one. Okay, standard form. And what does standard form tell us? That, okay, C value of 3, right here. Okay, A is positive, so it's gonna go up through this point. Let's see if we get super accurate. You can factor this. It may not work, but I'm going to try it really quickly so I get a really accurate graph, and I'll show you guys digitally. A times C is 12, B value is 6, two numbers that multiply to be 6, or 12, that add 3, 4, 2, 6. None of them work. Okay, so it's not factorable. Okay, so I have to go through my graph is opening up, and it has to go through the y-intercept. Huh, this is going to be a fun graph. And I have to go through the red and that orange. Maybe the graph is like this? I don't know. That's my best guess. That's the 1 point of intersection. Okay, let's use technology. So, show you guys what I use this one called Graph and Calc 83. Graph and Calc 83. And then you're going to type in your two equations. So I have 4, here's my cheater, xx right above apps, that's x squared, plus 6x plus 3. And this is a free app. So the negative in subtraction signs is where usually students make a mistake. So negative 6x minus 6 is on the right, okay? And then you're going to press graph. And there's our graph. It's kind of not fun. Let's see. It's pretty cool. Didn't have two different colors, but your intersection's only going to happen once through there. For high-level math, that's called a tangent when the graph intersects at one place like that. Okay? Does that look like ours? See you guys.